Before we break down today's video, I do want to make note. It was first aired on the Zachria Sport YouTube channel. But this is your hub for all of our NFL draft coverage, so if you want more updates, hit that sub button. Right, music. Now welcome into today's show. I am Tom Downey. We're taking a look at Mel Kiper, 2025 NFL Draft. Big board today. He updated this a couple days ago. We're going to go 1 to 25, and also mention some players that did not make the list. Number 1, Travis Hunter. Now, I actually don't mind Hunter being on here. At some level, I do think ESPN has kind of really pushed the Colorado narrative a little bit more than maybe they should have, but as it specifically relates to Travis Hunter, I get it. That dude is unbelievable in the amount of plays he's able to be out there. I think he's probably a better cornerback that he is right now. Wide receiver, and there's a lot more highlight real plays at wide receiver because it's easier to see on the broadcast. But I genuinely would let him try. Put both ways, if he was only a receiver, he'd be a first-round pick. Guaranteed. He were only a receiver or only a corner. Be a first-round pick. So where would you guys play Travis Hunter in the NFL? WR for wide receiver, CB for cornerback, or B for you know what? You're going to try out both of those spots. Let me know in the comments of today's show. There's not that many surprising things on this list, and Will Johnson being number 2 is certainly not a surprise either. I think got a little bit greedy at times against Fresno States. And I will make note, this was before the week 2 matchups is when Melt did this list. But Will Johnson is a stud. He is sticky in coverage. He offers so much of what you're looking for in a potential number 1 corner. I also appreciate James Pearce Jr. being so high on this list. Highly impactful last year. I'm excited to see him play the SEC slate as we get forward into this upcoming season out of Tennessee. He's a little bit thinner than I typically prefer in edges. But what this is, flavor of ice cream stuff here. I like it when my edge rushers have speed and athletic ability, because I think that allows them to do more things. Those guys are harder to find than the power roggers. Now he's played 39 snaps this year. Tennessee's blowing out a bunch of teams. So more to come from that perspective. For him, Mykel Williams out of Georgia got nicked up in the first game, has also only played 20 snaps. So far, Pearce and Williams are still both a little bit on the projection side, certainly more so. Williams than Pearce Jr. is, but the traits are there and traits matter a lot, especially in this year's draft. Class number 5, Malaki Starks. Mel made some pretty major changes from his last, update, and they're for the best. I think he got some, hey, do this from NFL people, by the way. Malaki Starks is that one interception way. He's in the slot, and he covers the slot fade and makes the pick. That's prime Earl Thomas stuff. And he's bigger than Earl Thomas was, let that sink in. Number 6, Abdul Carter out of Penn State. You're going to get Micah Parsons comparisons here, and I don't hate that. I think he's little incon, not the greatest game against Bowling Green, frankly. I thought he kind of better against Bowling Green, I guess, than West Virginia, but I need to see more pass rush. Impact been a little bit quiet so far. To start from Carter, he's moving from off-ball linebacker down to pure edge there, so I think more progress needed, but I thought headed in the right direction. How about that? I think you can argue. Mason Graham should be even higher on this list now. I get that there is the stench of the Texas game. And the Texas game, the results are going to be what they are. That was really more of an offensive problem for Michigan than it was a defensive issue despite the final score. It's tough when your offense can't really move with the football, but Graham is your next first-round pick from the defensive line. Out of Michigan, who do you think is the best player in the 2025? And I think all those top 7 players you can make arguments for, plus some others we'll get to hear on today's show. Let me know in the comments right now. Number 8, Carson Beck out of Georgia. This is the first quarterback on Mel's list. Number 2, by the way, is at number 9. We'll just merge these guys together. It's Shedeur Sanders. I think Sanders, of what he's able to physically do, I think there's a higher ceiling than there is with Carson Beck. I think Beck is, I'm a little bit worried that it's like you're going to get Jared Goff of Carson Beck, and that's a good quarterback, but if that's the ceiling, that's a different conversation of how much is really valuable there. I like a lot of what Shedeur Sanders does. I hate the Colorado offensive line. Also, sure, you can't say that the offensive line is bad. You can't. He's